Come on, what have you got for us?
Crashing, apparently.
5 laps to go. Gap now down to 24 points. Bagnaia has got the points status quo as to when we came into Indonesia.
Who's next?
Martin will crash, and Pedro Costa will get his first win.
Last lap?
Next lap round. Martin will crash with 4 to go. His front tyre's going to buckle because he's on hards. Look at Morbidelli really holding off.
Yeah, Morbidelli's definitely trying to buckle.
Morbidelli, by the way, on the GP23 bike. Bagnaia on the GP24. It's miles and miles different. He touches the green. Morbidelli knew it. And through goes Pecco Bagnaia to take 3rd position.
21 points.
Finally, for the first time this weekend, that championship gap comes down to what we came into it with. Still, that's 9 points more. As Enea Bastian is back in the garage and gets water and heat over it as well. I can predict that we're going to have 10 riders at the end of the race. Binder losing pace, Ralph Fernandez will get ahead, I think, and also for Costa's maiden win in the Premier class. I'm with you on that, Iceman, as we take a look at what happened further back for Bagnaia, who's now running in 3rd place. Might be P2. 4 laps to go. This is when I said that Martin would crash. Let's see if I am a curse or not.
I kind of hope you are for this one.
Well, okay, it'll shake up the championship, won't it? But for Martin to crash in both races would be quite surprising, both the Tissot Sprint and the Grand Prix. But
He's got form of it.
He crashed here last year, exactly my point, yeah. He crashed here last year. And
he always crashes near the end.
Yeah, threw away the championship last year. This was the race where he did it.
Speaking of, that's Quartararo getting a little bit too much on the curbs. Having a little bit of wobbles.
Started 6th, now 7th. He's got his old teammate just ahead of him of Maverick Vinales in P6. Vinales doing well, actually, in the Aprilia.
He is. I mean, it's just staying away from everyone.
Yeah, of course, his teammate was wiped out everybody else earlier on in the race. In an accident that should have been really a red flag. I'm wondering what's going to cause a red flag, though, in modern day MotoGP. Have we had one this year?
No.
No, we haven't had one.
I'm sorry, but if a 4-bike pilot can't cause a red, then what's gonna?
Severe rain, probably. And it's Japan next. Remember last year?
Oh, great.
Do you remember last year? The red flag came out, we were all like...
I think I've blocked it.
Yeah.
Out of my head.
And then they tried to restart the race, and then we had to red flag it on the formation lap again.
Now I remember.
Yeah, very weird race last year in Japan. It was a half-point situation kind of there. The Tissot Sprint had more racing laps. And then we had the Australian Grand Prix, which the race happened on the Saturday because on Sunday a typhoon came and we couldn't run the Tissot Sprint on the Sunday.
So let that happen.
Well, I was wrong. 3 to go, and Martin is still riding.
Maybe he'll stay up.
He's pulled 2.4 seconds now to Pedro Costa. So he saved his tyres, now he's becoming consistent again. Yeah, look at that, lap 13
Maybe
onwards.
he won't crash.
Lap 13 onwards.
Oh, you've got to be joking me.
Yeah, 130.8, 130.7.
He's
30,
losing
30,
time
30, 31,
consistently.
30, 30. Yeah, he's flicking between the 130s and 131s between the two, actually.
Maybe he'll just won't crash.
It's Martin. The habit is not in him. I've said it time and time again that if this championship is not going to be won by who scores the most points, it's going to be who scores the least amount of points. I think Josh saying Miller loses in the front, yeah. Miller did lose the front, yeah. Miller lost the front, wiped out everybody else. Turning over from turn 2 into turn 3, Miller lost it, wiped out Alex Marquez, and then wiped out everybody else. Took out Marini, Aleix Espargaro and Alex Marquez. Digi then crashed. Did he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
Mark blew up.
what did Digi do?
Mia blew up. It's all going wrong today. Hello,
you know what?
hello.
Yeah, he crashed.
What was that? There's a winglet loose. There's a winglet at the exit of the last corner. Where's that come from?
Last corner, that could have come off of maybe Bastianini.
There's a proper great big winglet on the front. Oh, hello. Timing screens went wrong.
I have no notifications now.
That was weird.
And all of a sudden, loads of them have been deleted.
Yeah. So that's a handy little factor that's come into it. You can hear the wind picking up. How did Miller got a contract for 2025 in, considering it being his former team of Pramac? Surprises me. I'll be surprised if he stays for 26 and he doesn't want to be winded. Stays for 27, yeah. At the moment, he looks like he could be doing a year in MotoGP as a swan song, then head off and go in towards World Superbike. I thought for a second,
lost time.
yeah, and I thought for a second that Martin had a problem because he looks like he's going really slow. Look at the gap changing now, Megan, because Acosta's starting to close up on Martin.
Well, he was before, yeah. I think he had a moment.
Yeah. Little sector.
But he is starting to close that back up, like you said.
Yeah.
I mean, just gained 5 tenths.
Slowly, slowly, slowly. Coming up then for numero uno.
Josh?
Yeah. Oh, hello.
That was 19 in the sector 3.
Martin's really slow. Gap now less than 2 seconds. You might be cruising at home with 1 lap to go here in Indonesia. This is the last lap. Could he just be cruising home, making sure he doesn't throw it away?
Maybe, but him cruising might be the thing that makes him go down.
We shall see. Acosta's right behind him. We don't want that accident.
Maybe if he doesn't ride the curbs.
Yeah. Zarco's in 9th, by the way. Nakagami in 11th. Gigi Zalino watching on. Can't press the red button today, my friend. Binder gets ahead of Zarco for 8th place, but with track limits warning. Well, Megan, what have you made of the Indonesia Grand Prix as it comes up to
Very
the last
crashy.
lap? Yeah. One of the best of the year, I reckon.
Yeah, I mean, that's the most riders we've actually had out.
This season, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
Qatar, we had a couple, didn't we?
Yeah.
The majority of it all. Well, you can't stop this man. He may have crashed in the Tissot sprint, but he's made up on Grand Prix Sunday. 21 points will be the gap. That's all he needs to keep that momentum going into the Japanese Grand Prix in a week's time, into the last few corners. This is where he went down yesterday, the tricky turn 16. Look at that, he's leaning. He's just giving it as much respect as he possibly can. Doesn't want to buckle the front. Looks behind to see where Pedro Acosta is. It's not going to be his day. The Martinator. Redemption Day. The sprint didn't go his way. The Grand Prix does. Indonesia belongs to Martin in 2024. Pedro Acosta finishes 2nd. Bagnaia 3rd. Morbidelli 4th. Bezecchi 5th. Vinales 6th. Quartararo 7th. Binder 8th. Zarco 9th. Raul Fernandez 10th, Nakagami 11th, and Rins in 12th. And you can see, Megan, how much it means to Martin after crashing yesterday. He's got it back today.
He's very pleased with himself here. I mean, I don't think he can believe it.
That, I think, is a world champion's ride. That was very well done. And I've just been told it was his winglet that flew off the track. Look, he's got no aero screen.
Oh.
It was Martin's. Oh! No! Pedro Acosta is under investigation for tyre pressure.
And being that front tyre does look a bit down.
That means that he's going to get and he's under investigation. That means that Acosta's going to possibly get a penalty, which could put Bagnaia to 2nd, which will reduce the championship gap again.
It would. It does
15
make it go
to 20,
down.
gap 21, 16-point gap in the championship could be the way.
I mean, that's good.
Brings the fight on for Japan.
Also, it puts Morbidelli in 3rd.
It's 21 as it stands. 15 points for 3rd, 20 for 2nd. So if Bagnaia takes 2nd, the gap will be 16 points. Am I right, Teach?
I think.
We're right. And so first ever wins. So Martin's first Grand Prix win since the French Grand Prix back in May.
He hasn't won since then?
A long time ago for a Grand Prix. He's won sprints.
Does this mean that next time out in F1, Max will win? If people are suddenly winning when they haven't won in ages.
Oh, don't say that, because we're at Kota. I want a great race. Martin, domination. Well done.
He's not even sitting on the seat.
No, he's not. We'll stay with the podium ceremony. We'll let you go though, Megan. What have you made of this one and going into Japan in a week?
Very crashy and exciting.
Japan?
Tiring, I expect.
Thanks, Megs. I won't see you in a week. Tyre pressure for Nakagami, Acosta and Binder is under investigation. That's 3 separating them. Thanks, Megs. I won't see you in Japan. You'll be in the box alone in Japan. And I'll be in a hotel room in Kent. And yeah, I'll still be on the commentary, but I'll be remote. Martin wins! Not a bad session so far then from Indonesia. Right, we're going to have a little break from the races and actually catch up for some midday report. Let's head over to Jack Appleyard in the paddock as we get ready for the midday live.
Rain, fortunately for now, has stopped. Although, as you can see behind us, it feels like it could return at any moment, which has thrown a bit of a spanner in the works, Jack Appleyard, for the teams who are planning to do some long runs this afternoon.
Yeah, absolutely. In particular, Marco Bezzecchi, who we had the opportunity to speak to about an hour ago. The vast majority of teams and riders managed to put a time attack together this morning, and then the idea was around 3 o'clock, around now, which is often race time when it comes to the sprint. On a Saturday, they were going to do a sprint simulation. That was Marco Bezzecchi's plan anyway, but at the moment, only the world champion Pecco Bagnaia and Somkhiat Chantra on track. And I think that tells part of the story from what we've seen over the opening 2.5 days of pre-season as well. The fact that the world champion, when conditions aren't ideal, feels he has to go out. Yesterday, he described a decision between opting with the 2024 engine or the 2025 one as 50-50. In fact, he's now out on track, the only rider out on track for the opening 5 minutes or so before Somkhiat Chantra joined him. I think tells the story that that decision is still hanging in the balance.
Yeah, we spoke to Frankie Carcetti a moment ago, Fermin Aldeguer's crew chief, and he was speaking about how Fermin Aldeguer's plan for this afternoon was to do a sprint simulation. They're now hoping that the rain stays away, so that can happen. A lot of teams were planning to do that this afternoon. If we're looking at the highlight or the headline of the day so far, Alex Marquez is currently quickest from the former world champion Pecco Bagnaia, but I think the headline from what we've seen so far this morning is that Yamaha have underlined their progress.
Yeah, absolutely. We've been looking at the lap times and trying to work out who's made the biggest step forward. Coming into this Sepang test, we had a sort of ranking of the best ever lap, whether it be some of them in qualifying when we were last here in November, some of them coming in the test when we were last here 12 months ago. Yamaha were at the bottom of that pile with a 57.5. The lap time by Fabio Quartararo today has meant that they've jumped up to second, just behind Ducati, a 56.8. They've managed to find 56.7, sorry. They've managed to find a whopping 0.8 of a second. To put that into a little bit of perspective, Honda have improved by a 10.5, KTM have improved by a 10.5, Ducati around a 10.5 slower, Aprilia 0.2 slower than their previous best. So that is a massive step forward that Yamaha have taken. We've been thinking that was the case over the shakedown and then the opening 2 days. We officially have it in a lap time form now that Yamaha have closed the gap to Aprilia and KTM and are going to be there fighting for podiums on a regular basis this year.
Yeah, the theme of this Midday Live is going to be positivity amongst the Japanese manufacturers. If you come with us this way, we can introduce our guest for this afternoon, newly installed technical director at Honda HRC Castrol. It is Romano Albesiano. Romano, thank you very much for joining us. Welcome to our Midday Live. First of all, give us a summary of how Honda's test has gone so far.
Well, it's been very important testing. We had many different versions of components. It's been huge work for the mechanics and for the riders, but at the end we found a good base for starting the season.
It feels as if the general feedback from the riders, certainly speaking to the media, has been positive. Joan Mir described the day they had yesterday as the best test days had so far with Honda. Can you feel a general sense of optimism and a buoyancy around the camp?
Yes, definitely. I didn't know what to expect from this test, but my feeling now is that the general performance of the motorcycle and the riders is good. We can, as I said before, we have a base to start and to bring small development step by step to which is the right way to proceed, and we are there. We are there to get to the top in some time, probably, but it's possible.
Of course, you've moved into this role. This is the first official test outside of the one day we had in Barcelona. We know that nothing happens overnight in MotoGP, but in the 2 months over the winter, what are the things that you've been able to have an impact in the very early stages of your tenure here?
We are just try to focus on the right, let's say, targets, and organize the job for the future. This is mainly what I have done mostly in this period.
Of course, coming with you, Aleix Espargaro as well into his role as a test rider. Looking ahead over the next 12 months, 18 months, how important do you think that will be that Aleix knows you and you know Aleix so well after your time together at Aprilia?
It's a great opportunity for me, and I think also for Honda, to have the two persons that communicate efficiently for so long. So it's easy for me to understand what he says, and it's easy for me also to ask him some special test or whatever. So it's for me it's a very casual, but let's say very good combination for developing. And he's so strong in pushing his unbelievable let's say ability to push, to put energy in everything he does. So it's very nice to work with him, and I think he can be a great help on the project.
He's a motivator.
That's right.
Always has been.
There's so much talk these days about the culture within a factory. Of course, the European manufacturer